And now we welcome in one of the newest members of the New York Football Giants, safety Jevón Holland. Jevón, welcome aboard, man.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So I did some intel gathering on you. I watched your podcast, the Breaking House Rules podcast, right? So I found out that your girlfriend who's here,
yes,
she is a native New Yorker.
She is a native New Yorker.
So
Long
what has
Island.
she warned you about New York City?
Food is great.
True.
The people are passionate. And it gets cold outside, but I'm from Canada and I went to college in Oregon, so I'm ready for that.
I was going to say the cold shouldn't affect you. You're the snowman.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, come on.
So tell the fans why you're the snowman.
So I'm the snowman because obviously I was born in Vancouver, British Columbia, and then I wear number 8, and a couple of my old teammates started calling me the snowman just because the number looks like the snowman emoji on the iPhone, and it just kind of stuck, and I kind of rolled with it. Shout out to Jeezy, I know he's the snowman, but in football realm, I'm the snowman.
So now also on the podcast, your girlfriend's dad is a huge New York sports fan, correct?
Yeah.
So are we going to be able to convert you to like a Knicks fan now that you're here? Are you going to convert to all these New York teams? What are we doing?
She's a big Knicks fan, so I think I'm going to definitely have to be a Knicks fan.
Season ticket holder, man.
Truly,
so
I will be honest. When I was younger, I had a Knicks hat, and you can ask my parents this. I had a Knicks hat because Carmelo Anthony, and I loved Carmelo, and then Jeremy Lin with Linsanity. So I got some Knicks, history in me already, but I'll support the squad.
All right. So I could tell from listening to the other pod that you did a little work on, you would name like half the Giants roster. I was very impressed. So when you look at this young secondary that you're joining, I'm sure you used to being the young guy in the secondary, right? You come here, you ain't the young guy anymore, man.
Right.
You're one of the vets back there.
Yeah.
So what is it about this group and how can you help this group kind of take it to the next level as a secondary?
I mean, just being young, they're fresh into the league, and having leadership, me and Paulson being older in the group, I think it's going to be great. I think I've been in a lot of different situations, which have given me great experience to be able to push them in the right direction and help lead them while also helping them find who they are and find their voice. So I think just adding me is like a guiding light for the young guys in the room, and I'm really excited to be that.
Now, your last 3 years had 3 different defensive coordinators, correct?
Yeah, 4 years, 4 different coordinators. Even though Josh Boyer was back after my first year, the defense was different. So I consider it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I consider it 4 defense coordinators, 4 years.
So is this just easy coming to learn a new system? And is this system, from what you've seen, similar to one of the ones that you had in Miami at some point?
Yeah, I know. Coach Bone was with Coach Vrabel in the past, and they ran like a similar too high, and Vrabel comes from the Patriots system. So there are similarities, definitely. I think once you kind of figure out a way to learn and you figure out your style of learning, then whatever it is that you're trying to ingest is going to end up being easier once you figure out your specific way. So every time I look into a new defense or a new system, there are different things that point out to me that will help me grasp the scheme.
Easy to label somebody a safety, but you have to be able to basically play inside linebacker.
Correct.
You have to be able to play slot.
Right.
You have to be able to play the robber position, middle of the defense, and you have to be the center field in a split safety. So you have a lot of different spots you have to play. Where do you think you play your best football? Which one of those spots, doing what role?
I think I play my best ball when I'm behind, when I'm back deep, and I'm able to control and to see the field and to read and react. I think that's where I'm best. Not saying that I'm not good still rotating down. I think I'm a 5-tier safety, being able to rotate down, make tackles, the whole 9. But I think I'm best when I'm back deep, seeing the field, communicating.
Is that where you think, because I know this defense, they really want to get the hands on the football, right? They want to force takeaways. Is that the spot where you think you could play the biggest role in forcing those takeaways, or do you want to be a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage to get closer to the quarterback? Because there are 2 sides to that coin, right?
Right. No, I definitely think that being back deep, going to get the ball, being a ball hawk, I think that's definitely where I will thrive at in this defense. I know T-Noob is like really, really good along the line of scrimmage, blitzing and whatnot. So
smart guy too.
I'm really looking forward to working with him so that we can find the best mix to go out there and be successful.
Can you be a little bit more aggressive as a safety when you have guys like Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns up front, and the quarterback's not going to be able to hold the ball that long going back to throw it?
Yeah, absolutely. Rush and coverage match, on purpose, because if the rush is getting there, the quarterback's got to let the ball go, and that means we can guess. But if the coverage is there and the quarterback can't let the ball go, that means they can go and get the quarterback. You know what I mean? They have more time to get to him. So having Dex and KT and Brian Burns, and then we just signed Chauncey, like having those guys up front going crazy, I'm really excited for that.
I'm going to ask you about Kayvon in a second, but they also brought in another defensive back, Paulson Adebo, who was in your draft class in 2021. You guys are both old school. It doesn't exist anymore, but Pac-12 guys, right? Do you have a relationship with him, and what do you feel about being able a chance to play with another guy that I think both of you consider yourselves ascending players.
Yeah, me and Paulson have mutual respect from each other. We played each other in college, and then we played each other one time in the league. But just from afar, I've always respected his game, and I'm excited to play with him. He's got like the most PBUs in the last like 2 years or something like
28
that.
the last 2 years.
Right. So I'm really excited to see him flourish, and it's going to be fun, playing alongside him.
When you spoke to the media, you referred to yourself as an ascending player. Where do you think you have room to make that jump to consistently be that, all right, I'm in the all-pro conversation every year now?
So my thing is when I view my game, I think in every aspect I can improve. You know what I mean? And I think that I want to improve in every aspect, because I don't think that I'm finished in one category and I have more in another. And it may seem broad to say that, but that's truly how I feel. I feel like that once I'm in a system and I can find my role and I can be in that role for a long time, then I'll feel like I'll be flourished and comfortable. So yeah, I feel like my game has changed every year just because of what's been asked of me. But I'm really excited to be in the system and stay in the system and grow within it and, allow my talents to show for themselves.
Based on what you said on your pod, it sounded like the Giants maybe were not the team when this whole process started that you thought you would wind up with. How did you kind of wind up with the Giants and kind of how did you wrap your head around that?
Yeah, I mean, free agency is kind of unpredictable almost.
I can't imagine how it works for you guys.
Yeah.
I'm watching from the outside and it's chaos. To actually be in the middle of it, I can't even imagine.
So my agents, they're the ones that are talking to teams and whatnot, and I'm kind of just like waiting for their phone call. And so, what was beforehand and what was predicted didn't go necessarily as planned. So then there was a pivot, not for the better or for worse, but there was a pivot.
Yeah, changes happen.
You're right. And it ended up coming up that the Giants called me, and they called my agents, and they made the offer, and I was super excited because for me it wasn't necessarily like what team picked me, it was like what their intent was and how they wanted me. You know what I mean? And the Giants really, really were excited to have me, and they made that clear to my agents, and so that felt really good to know that I'm wanted and I'm needed somewhere, and I'm excited to be here.
How quickly did you get on the phone with Kayvon when you found out the Giants were thinking about you?
Dude, Kayvon's been calling and texting me for I don't know how long, telling me like, man, come up to New York, man, come up to New York. So once everything was settled, I had sent him a message like right after, and he was super juiced. He's out west right now, and so he's like a couple hours behind. So I was able to send him a message. He's still up, and he was really juiced. Finally,
since I know you have family here, I'm sure you've done a lot of the New York stuff already. But is there something when you get here you really want to sink your teeth into New York-wise?
I mean, just being into the New York culture, like understanding the city and how it works, and New Jersey golf, like all of that. So,
you're a big golfer.
I'm a big golfer.
There are a lot of courses in Jersey, dude.
I heard,
there is no shortage. Congratulations, man.
Thank
Welcome
you very
aboard.
much.
Jevón Holland, one of the newest members of the New York Football Giants.